and welcome to Week 8 of the NFL season. I am your host, Cody P. 12, whatever we're going to call me. Wow, look at me. I'm all strong and powerful, going 13-2 in my last week's predictions. Look at that. See, I may not always be right, but then I have moments where I'm really right. Looking back on the two games, Oakland was a home team and they won on the last second drive with a lot of controversial calls, but divisional games, you usually want to take the home team, but you win some, you lose some. Miami had a nice comeback against the Jets. That's not a game I lost, but I'm just saying. Good job, Matt Moore. And a couple other interesting things. The only other game I lost was the Panthers and the Bears game. The Bears, their defense looks nice. Their defense knows what they're doing. Cam Newton apparently can't figure out something. I mean, everyone wants to blame him, but can we pause for a moment and say that the two turnovers that he had wasn't his fault? I don't remember the third one off the top of my head. I think the third one he just threw straight to the guy. That could have been his fault. But the other two, it was one of those read option plays. He loves to do those, and Curtis Samuel just couldn't hold on to the ball. And the other one, Kelvin Benjamin, put it on the numbers. Catch. Boop. Woo. Gone. Anyway, 13-2. Looking great. Don't look now in both Hatbox and Geo Knows Pick'em leagues. I am second place in both of them. One game behind in one and 2 games behind in the other. Whew. I have a lot of energy. Let's get into the game, shall we? First game we're going to look at is when the Oakland Raiders head to Buffalo. So we got Oakland, who started nice, had some crappy middle time, and now we're coming back to looking decent again. Game-winning drive against KC looked very nice. And of course, Amari Cooper, on a side note, goes off when I had to face against him both times in my fantasy leagues. Both leagues had him. And spoiler alert, I lost both those leagues. Nothing I could have done. Cooper just goes off. Ugh. Can't win them all. And Buffalo, who has been very surprising as of late. I mean, I never doubted them as a bad team, but they've been looking really impressive as of lately. And this game's going to be in Buffalo, so you get the sense of home field advantage as a thing. I mean, Buffalo beat Denver when people thought Denver were still world beaters. It's a toss-up. I'm expecting a good game. Oakland's now going to go on that drive of everyone's going to believe us we're actual Super Bowl contenders. And all the hoorah, hoorah. Alright, keep it short, keep it simple. Second game we're going to look at is when the Carolina Panthers head to Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay as a home team is being favored, and this is a divisional game. When it comes to picks like these, you usually want to take the home team in divisional games. Usually. Not all the time, but usually. And especially in this NFC South where, again, all 4 teams, they're all very close to each other, and you never know. They all have good quarterback and a really good team. I mean, Atlanta, I don't know what the hell's going on with them. And then Carolina, they're up and down all the time. Tampa Bay, I don't know where they're going. They're going in the opposite direction of what everyone was thinking. And all of a sudden, NOLA's now in first place. When did the Saints get into first place? They were just 0-2, last of their division. And now they're all the way back up. It's weird how this works, isn't it? Very weird. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to take Carolina on this edge mainly because Cam Newton's more experienced. He'll have a bounce back. And Carolina has actually looked good in this year so far. Tampa Bay, they got a couple wins, but a little shaky. So it's hard to see what they'll do. I think Cam Newton bounces back after 2 questionable games, and he gets a move on. And the third and final game we're going to look at is the Sunday nighter when Pittsburgh heads to Detroit. Now, Detroit started off really well, and has fallen off recently, taking losses to NOLA and Carolina after starting quite impressively, especially against the Cardinals, who some people still thought were legitimate. Yes, David Johnson goes out week 1, whatever. But yeah, Pittsburgh, they're having a little bit of their own controversies with Martavis Bryant talking smack and whatnot. And it's always controversial because, you know, Ben, he's been playing better lately, but he still his retire and all that crap is still going to dwindle in the back of his head. I'm sure it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ben doesn't have a perfect game. This is definitely going to be Big Ben's last season. And I probably can say the same for Phil and Eli. I think this is the last year we'll probably see all three 2004 draft class QBs, all first ballot Hall of Famers. Well, okay, I take that back. Maybe not Phil and Eli. I don't know. It's hard to debate. Because Eli Manning is pretty much in the same boat as Flacco is right now. Or I guess Flacco's in Eli's boat because Eli did it first. But he won 2 Super Bowls. He beat really good teams both times. Yet he's also led the league in INTs multiple times. Flacco's never done that. Just letting y'all know. So, it makes you wonder. And now, with the Giants looking like absolute crap because everyone keeps getting flipping injured, and all their receivers are pretty much done for most of the time, if not all of the season. So what are the Giants playing for? What are they fighting for? At this point, they might as well just fight for a top pick in the draft to get a QB for the future. I don't think Eli is going to be there much longer. If not there at the end of this year, he'll be gone in another year or two. But we're not talking about Eli. We're talking Pittsburgh and Detroit. Matt Stafford, this is a home game for him. He's on prime time. I think he has a good chance to bounce back. But Pittsburgh is a more dominant team, and the Lions have not fared well against teams who do really good in the season. Or tend to be really good in the season. Just tends to be how that happens. Weird, ain't it? But yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh on the road, because Pittsburgh, again, with more experience, and that they are naturally a better team. Pittsburgh is a Super Bowl contender. Detroit, they'll probably make the playoffs because of Aaron Rodgers' injury in Green Bay. But they probably won't go far at all. Just saying. Alright, that is your talkabouts. Predictions going to slide up here. I hope I left enough space, but we shall see. I'll break down a couple games, see what you think. A lot of you are going to call me a homer on this one, but I will take Baltimore at home. In the sense that Baltimore does really good against Miami. The one game we didn't do good in was because everyone was injured. It was Matt Shaw quarterbacking. And no. Just no. Pretty much the rest of this seems legitimate. I'm giving Atlanta one more go. Atlanta loses this game. I deem them crap. You're done. Game over. Get off my lawn. Whatever. Dallas, Washington might be better, and they're also at home. So it's a little iffy, but I think Dallas looks better. And Dallas does have a decent run game. I don't know why I'm saying decent. It's one of the better run games. One, they can get Elliott moving. So there's that. And then KC, even though they've lost the last 2, Denver's lost the last 2 as well, but should have won those games where KC, you can say they can have lost those games. Oh, well, whatever. There's that. That is that. Alright, that's that. Go on to fantasy. Gotta try to remember everything on top of my head. I lost both games again. I think I've combined for 3 wins so far in my 2 fantasy leagues. I'm just looking god-awful. And although this one you can't kind of avoid because I don't know if this is true in the Progs League, but in the Friends League, his players did better than mine. Again, I was up against James this week, I believe. He had Elliott, Amari Cooper, and a couple others I can't remember, but they just outperformed. And what am I supposed to do? Now, the Prague League, again, they had Amari Cooper. I think they also had Travis Kelce. And I can't remember who else. But you can't win them all, my friends. And this week, I think I would have lost regardless on how how my season was going. Can't win them all, my friends. Can't win them all. I suppose this is where I also make a Super Bowl prediction, because that tends to be the thing that people like. KC has slipped for me. Pittsburgh's a question mark. My computer shut off, so I can't read the games. Philly still looks really good. like really good. I mean, they haven't faced like legitimate competition. I mean, that Carolina game where we thought Carolina was good. Philly looks really nice. Carson Wentz looks like an MVP candidate, and that team just looks great. They've had a couple of injuries lately that have kicked a lot of their players to the sideline for the rest of the years, but they look really good, guys. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what they're like against some actual competition. Because now with Green Bay, Seattle is the good team. Like, they're the team that usually knows what they're doing. And I don't know if I could say Philly's going to be in the same boat as Atlanta last year and Carolina the year before, where they just go off. But I ain't sleeping on them. I feel like they'll make some noise, and they'll 99% chance to win that division, unless a major injury happens. But that division looks like they're good, and at this point, I guess you can't really make any calls right now through 7 weeks, but go for the bye week. Try to get a bye week. Get some rest before the playoffs. See what you're dealing with. See what you know. I think Philly's got a good chance to make noise. And AFC, it's really a battle between 3 teams: New England, Pittsburgh, and KC. I can't point to one right now and say who I think is better. It's Brady, Ben, both have experience. Alex Smith he was making an early case for MVP. He's dropped the last 2, but he's making a good case for his MVP run as well, if he can just keep up the pace. He's got good stats. And then Brady, freaking 40, but somehow still going off on everyone. I think he's right now the only QB that's over 2,000 yards already. But then again, every QB who's gotten close keeps getting injured. A-Rod was close, got injured. Palmer was close, got injured. It makes you wonder if the Madden curse is actually trying to reverse its effect, in the sense of when Tom Brady now wins it, everyone else is going to suffer. Although the Patriots' defense has suffered as well lately. They just don't look right. Anywho, I'm not going to go into the big breakdowns. That's for the other guys who actually want to make 50, 60-minute videos. I'm not that guy. Check their links out in the description below. Do subscribe to them. They put a lot more effort than I probably do in my videos. And they're also gamblers, so they'll help you with against the spread picks and moneyline stuff and all that, over and unders. I usually save those picks for playoffs when I don't have to balance 100 games at once. Makes my life easier. And by the playoffs, I'll also be 18, so I actually might consider it. Anywho, also make sure to go onto the Facebook page where we talk a lot about football and we crap talk a lot of other teams. We have fun. Thank y'all for joining me. I shall see you in week 9.